Hey everybody, it's Michael B, and welcome to another Monday night. For those of you that aren't here because you're watching Cool Toy and Complete Geek TV's new show, you're gonna miss out. But anyways, if you haven't, they're doing a show that's pretty cool. Go check them out too. But if you are here, thank you so much because we're gonna have so much fun tonight talking about Arcade1Up. It's like the year in review, even though the year isn't over because we kind of know everything they're releasing. So we're going to take a look at it. We're going to rank it and we're going to see what we think and give them an overall grade on their performance this year and how we feel about what they did and maybe where they go from here and what they could do to do better or keep going the course. Who knows? Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Maybe we'll have some special guests. I invited a bunch of people. So far, none of them have showed up. Might just be me. Anyways, thank you so much. This is Chill and Chat with Michael B. Rock and roll. Okay, guys. So I've done this very scientifically. In fact, it's not scientifically at all. I basically have just very quickly developed a list of what are, for me, important factors about the release of a cab and whether or not I think people should buy it that I go by. So, what I'm looking to do is I'm going to do a score of 1 to 5, with 5 being the highest score and 1 being the lowest score. And then at the end, we'll do an average for the cab and then an overall average for all the products that Arcade1Up have basically put out this year. But before we do that, I want to say hello to a couple people here in the chat. I see Charlie Chuck. You beat out Cool Toy. I appreciate it. Samantha Munitz. Hey, Mike. Hey, Samantha. Top 10 cabs should all have BOE monitors, but we're not ranking. We're not ranking Arcade1Up's best cabs ever. We're specifically talking about their releases this year. It's okay to solo stream, my dude. I know it is, P-Dubs, but I would have done it in OBS instead of in StreamYard, buddy. Goofy Foot. He's free. He's here. This is going to be fantastic. Papa Brad's Gaming. What's happening, brother? Nikki Z. Oh, I clicked on Papa Brad again. Nikki Z. How's it going? Who else do we have? Bill's Retro Gaming Show. Guys, check out Bill. She Lion Gaming. Our friend Glenn and Doug. Is it next Friday you guys start, Bill? Let us know. Oh, wait. Cool Toy is on. I know. Chris Zeke, what's happening, brother? I didn't know, or maybe I did, that you're a big Supernatural fan. We should talk at some point. 19K Fox, why aren't you here, brother? I could use help. I was hoping that it wasn't just my opinion that's going to push this, but we'll see where it goes. Sterling Hall, what's happening, brother? Bobby Timpson, Ridge Racer, even though it came out in January, was actually last year's release. So I'm not including it, believe it or not. All right, guys. JJ, I saw you there. Let's get started. Console Kits couldn't join me tonight. He's at Target, apparently. I've got nobody. Oh, bye. Oh, I can't remember the way the song goes. Lonely, I'm so lonely. No, you're not too late at all. Come on, brother. Everybody I invited, you're all still welcome. But let me bring up the sheet and see if I can figure out how to do this now. I'm not a smart man, so we'll see if I can figure this out. Share screen, window. There we go. Share. So, guys, I'm just going to put this up on screen. This is my handy dandy tool that I've developed. I'm an Excel guy. So, anyways, what I did was I've listed off all the cabs that Arcade1Up have released this past year. I'm actually going to do this in. Can I do this with solo layout? It's kind of small, so I apologize. But we've got Golden Tee 3D, Pac-Mania Legacy, Centipede Legacy, Mortal Kombat 30th Legacy, Dragon's Lair, NBA Jam Shaq Edition, Miss Pac-Man Legacy Edition, and Capcom Yoga Flame. Now, I know, of course, there's also rebrands of Pac-Mania and what's the other one? The Mortal Kombat as Joust. But I mean, those are reskins. I'm not technically counting those. So it's basically, these are the mainline cabs that we're getting this year. And guys, we're going to grade them to see how well Arcade1Up is doing. Very quickly, Gross Gaming. Mike, does your Dragon's Lair come on the 28th? Mine says that. It looks like Dragon's Lair here in Canada has been delayed yet again. So yeah, it's coming at the end of August now. I mean, it was supposed to be here at the end of June, and then it was supposed to be here at the end of July, and now it looks like it's going to be the end of August. So us here in Canada, we're in rough shape. What's happening, console fanboy? I know, P-Dubs, I did this for you. It's an Arcade1Up spreadsheet show. How about that? All right, so let's go over this really quickly. So we'll go up with the first one. Let me bring it up on screen. Oh, I'm going to have to share multiple screens. I don't know how to do this. Again, I'm not a smart man. But the first one is the first one that they technically came out with this year. I'm also going to share. Can I share multiple screens? Stop screen. And I'm going to share this. Oh, man. Window. So it's the Golden Tee 3D arcade machine. And while we do this, we're going to fill out our first. I want to talk about the design of the cabinet. And for this, I give them top marks. If you guys haven't seen it, the cabinet is spectacular. I mean, it's giant. It looks really good. The design, everything like that. I would argue that it's possibly a 5. I would say a full-on 5. There's no riser, everything. It's very accurate to the original. I give the actual design and build a 5 on my spreadsheet. Well, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Twitter is rough, man. There we go. Rough old stuff. Zoom in. I know, P-Dubs. Hold on. There we go. I know, guys. So anyways, here we go. Golden Tee.
Yay! Just in time.
You guys came in for the good stuff. It's not Carl's what do you call them? Gremlins, but it was pretty close.
Yeah, it was pretty close. Dangerously close, yeah.
Anyways,
what did I walk into?
he did say spreadsheet.
So anyways, let's talk about this. So first up, we are doing spreadsheets, but I want to talk about the looks of the Golden Tee cab. So first off, the cab design for Golden Tee 3D. Both you guys have them. I've only seen it physically. Out of 5 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, where do you score them?
It's going to forever take that hit for the monitor.
Yes.
No. Forget about the monitor. There's multiple. I got to go back and I'm going to take this off the screen.
Okay.
And I'm going to figure out how to put this up without putting smut back up.
What? Oh, no.
What have we done?
So did it go up? All right. Hold on, guys. So here we go. Here's the list.
All right.
So it's looking at every cab Arcade1Up is putting out this year. And then we're going to give them a score from 1 to 5 for cabinet design, authenticity. So comparing it to the build of the original cabinet, build quality. That's where your screen comes in. The component parts is everything. Like, do the buttons feel good? Is there something like that?
Okay.
Then we're going to talk about the game demand. Is this a game people wanted Arcade1Up to make or re-release?
Can you zoom in? So much better. Do you got a V lookup in the and then
no, not yet, but I do have my averages all ready to roll here.
Okay, all right.
And then last is the games list. Are we happy with the games that are actually on the cabinet?
Okay, cool. All right. Sorry, it's my fault for coming in late. I apologize.
No.
Okay.
I just appreciate you're here.
Here we go. All right. Now.
I broke my toes on the way in. I've been trying to put together a pool all day for my daughter. The pool leaked. Then
Were you wearing shoes?
Second pool.
He wasn't wearing shoes.
I was wearing shoes. I wasn't wearing shoes when I tried to climb over the dog gate we have on the door here to prevent the dogs from coming in and eating the kitty litter. That's where I broke my foot.
Okay.
A lot going on. A lot to unpack there.
All right.
It's been a hell of a day. Hell of a day, guys.
Should we make a column for monitor?
No, it's in build quality. Okay, so cabinet design, the actual physical build of the cabinet, Golden Tee, I say personally it's a 5.
Those in the chat, put in your number on what number you think.
I'm asking you, Justin.
The cabinet design of Golden Tee?
Yeah.
Oh, like 9.
Out of 5. 5 is the highest.
5.
He's drunk.
Yeah, 5. Yeah, out of 5. Like I can't think of anything they should change on the physical machine.
I'm gonna have to agree with you. 5 for sure.
So we're going 5. Enable editing. My God.
Carry the 1.
It killed when you did that. It dropped
I know. Tell you.
15.
I should have just done this like I was originally going to do this. How I was originally going to do this was going to say, my Arcade1Up did not have a good year. All right, let's talk about what they can do to fix it.
Yeah,
right,
so the cabinet design, I think it was really good. Like, I mean, they're at a point where I'm like, put caps on it. You know what I mean? What's it called? The
screw holes on the side.
screw
Yeah,
holes,
I mean,
like-
you're really nitpicking now because it's
yeah.
like.
But I went on eBay and got some for like $5, and
I got
good.
some, but they were the wrong shade. I got them for T2, and they were the wrong shade of blue and red, and it looked odd. It actually made it look worse. It drew attention to it.
yeah, that's too bad.
What can you do?
Yeah.
It's a damn shame.
So this isn't working.
Are we loading a new template? What are we doing?
All right, hold on. Why don't you work on that for a second? And I got you, bud. I got you. We'll just go ahead and remove you. This has now become the
How's it going,
Justin
everybody?
and 19K Fox show while Michael
Ranking.
B figures out how to use a spreadsheet.
Yes.
So I have a question for you, 19K Fox. Now, let's talk about that Golden Tee. That Golden Tee 3D cabinet.
God.
Now, let's avoid the monitor.
So many steps forward, right? So many steps forward. So much progress made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, today we learned it's actually an Excel, right? I'm not talking about Excel like the spreadsheet.
Right.
It's
Not
an
that, because
Excel
that's very
cabinet.
complicated. It's an Excel
Very complicated.
cabinet. Yes. That's definitely. Is it official though? Is it officially Excel? We
I
always
think
called it
it's-
Excel.
It's an official. Let me show you the source.
All right.
I received an email from Arcade1Up, and Michael B is trying to figure out how we just took over his own show.
He doesn't need to know that.
He doesn't know. So
It's fine.
I'm going to start sharing the screen. This is my spreadsheet, and here it is. I'm not zooming in
That's
correctly.
right. That's right.
Yeah,
I
so
also
right
received
there,
this
the
email.
title of it right there, Excel Gaming, Excel Gaming, right? And then boom, bigger is better.
Is
And
better.
It's showing a 67-inch screen on the left, and then or tall, the height. I'm sorry, the height of the, and then 66 inches tall for the Golden Tee. So that means it's an Excel.
It's an Excel. I mean,
it's an Excel. But now we need to talk about Michael B's Excel. There we go.
Yeah, got to figure it out.
Here we go.
Got to figure it out. So we're going to give it a 5. Now, authenticity to the original cabinet for Golden Tee 3D.
Ooh, I think I need to look at an original.
That's also a 5.
Oh, we're just jumping straight to the end, huh?
No, with the authenticity, I mean, they made it pretty much a 1-for-1 with the original Golden Tee 3D cabinet.
It's a replica. It's good.
pretty much. Well, it's a replica with concessions. Arcade1Up's typical concessions.
But they're concessions that we wouldn't want them to fix.
They're appropriate concessions. It's not like Burger Time where the control panels are set up for Kung Fu.
No CRT really. It drops it down to a 4.
Okay.
All right. Now, here's the point you both are excited for and you wanted to talk about. The monitor. How does that affect the build quality? When the component parts are involved in the performance of the machine, how does the monitor affect it? Because that cabinet's awesome. Trackball is pretty good. But that monitor.
You know what? The monitor doesn't really bother me.
It's totally playable.
I mean, I like it. I play it every day. If you stand right in front of it, it looks fine.
Justin, do you regret buying Golden Tee?
Yes.
Horrible.
Yes.
It's build quality. If we're talking about, it's almost like it's component selection, right? Everything fits together well. Everything functions as intended. It was component selection. It was a choice that was made to go cheap on the monitor, and there's really no way around it. So build quality overall, cabinet wise, I don't know. The monitor really factors in when you talk about a limited control scheme. I'm going to say it's a 3.
Yeah,
I think it affects it that much.
Let me tell you. MG says it's a 1, but I'm going to tell you why it's not a 1. It's not a 1. It would be a 1 if there's absolutely no way to fix it, right?
Yeah.
We shouldn't have to fix it. Do you know what I mean? But it could be much worse. Like where you're like, they put a monitor in there and it's like impossible to remove and it can't be upgraded and it's not playable. It's like extremely not playable.
So would you say it's a 2 or a 3? Because I will tell you honestly, I'm leaning towards a 2.
The reason why I say 3, if we're looking at the cabinet as a whole, right?
It's 3 from the left, but 2
but 2 from the right. There's too many other things on the cabinet that work and function as intended. The trackball, for the most part, is pretty good.
Ooh, once you throw the trackball in there, now I'm leaning it towards a 2.
Oh, really?
There's an argument to be made then about the 2.
Because we're talking about, could it be improved, right? Is there room for improvement? You go to cabinet design, you're like, no, I think they nailed the cabinet design. Like it's got the coin door on the front, right? Like it looks great. The physical shape of it, the size of it, the height of it. No really room for improvement. Build quality, ooh. You could improve that trackball.
I get
you could improve that
yeah.
monitor.
I have looked into getting another trackball. Yeah.
Okay, and I have played it, and I found it not as good. I even found it not as good as the original trackball, even though it might be the exact same one that was in the OG Golden Tee. I didn't think it was as good.
Okay,
I'm fine with 2.
All right, so now moving on. Game demand. Did people want a re-release of Golden Tee? Was it highly demanded? Is this in a game that people were excited about?
It can't be a 1 because people were saying I'd like to buy one if they were available, right? And Best Buy were like out of stock by that point. And some people held off because they knew another one was coming. No one wants more Pac-Mans. So that's a 1.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
But I would say here in Canada, this was considered to be the unicorn cabinet. Like when I got mine on clearance from the Brick, long after they were sold out, everybody was going nuts saying, this is the cabinet to find right now. This is, the Rampage, after people went nuts about getting Rampage after it was gone. So people were excited about them releasing another Golden Tee, and maybe it was just the XL factor, but you guys all went and bought one. Like people were excited about this. Was that more the cabinet or the game? The re-release of the game with more games?
I think the more game. I'm not really sure if the more games really added much. Let me throw it this way: Star Wars re-release right now, that's a 5.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So is Golden Tee 3D re-release also a 5?
No.
Would you say 4, 3?
I could go with a 4.
Let's go with a 4.
All right.
Because they added bowling. I mean, come on. I mean, it was definitely maybe not the bowling game people wanted, but it was still a bowling game. But yeah, once you get past like 3 golf games, I think you've gone too far. So,
console fanboy $5 super chat. I cannot wait until you get to the MK Legacy. By the way, Michael B. the Game Genie, you have a higher score than me on that cab. I'm impressed. Thank you, Zohar. You're going to have to tell me what game in. I'd be interested to find that out. Maybe Bubbles. That's the one I play the most. I do. I love Bubbles. Thank you very much for the super chat, by the way, brother. And if I've missed anybody's super chat earlier, I apologize. Things were going hell. Some half-naked girl was on Twitter. Like, it was crazy. Wow. All right. So last but not least, I've got Games List here, but Games List isn't the true quality of it because it involves the Games List and the quality of the game. So someone said earlier, what about emulation and software? But game quality is also in there. So it's Games List and how good the games are.
Now I'll throw it out to you. This was a re-release, right? Yeah. It's not like they released some of the newer set of Golden Tee games. They stuck with the same generation. Now, you can make the same argument for Star Wars. If they re-release the Star Wars cab, there's going to be someone that's like, why didn't they come out with the Sega trilogy? That's what we wanted. And we're like, well, if you're understanding, you're like, that's totally not going to happen. One, they're going to milk it. I would. If I was working for them, I totally would. And second, the emulation's probably not ready for a Sega trilogy yet. could you say the same for Golden Tee? I think you could.
I'm going to say 3 because I think they could have done more there instead of just adding more golf games. It's kind of like Madden, right? It's almost the same game every year until you jump to a new console. So they could have added more variety, maybe more bowling games, maybe another shuffleboard game. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, I mean, it's always going to be a bone of contention. The fact that one time they accidentally put out that cab that was half Golden Tee, half Silver Strike bowling.
Oh, yes.
We always wanted that.
Oh,
so
yes.
maybe the quality of the bowling game. I can't remember what it is. It's World Class Bowling that's on there, right?
Yes.
And then
they
Shuffle Shot or
Shuffle
whatever.
Shot. And they also had, I know bag toss is kind of a big deal up here. It's called cornhole, but that's another game, same form factor. They could have added that in there, just some, a little bit of variety. So there's other things they could have done. That's all the same company did that, so it's
So
they could have done more.
Yeah, it can't have a 5.
Yeah.
So we're gonna say 4 for games list or 3.
I'm leaning towards a 3.
I'm 3.
3. Okay.
3.
All right. So our first cabinet, Golden Tee 3D, overall score 3.8.
Not bad.
Very
bad.
quickly.
Starting strong, actually.
Very quickly, console fanboy, you didn't need the super chat to respond, but on MK1, that's surprising. That is surprising.
Oh, wow.
All right, so next up is Pac-Man Legacy. Robert
if I may,
Foxworth. I'm sorry, I doxed you again. Fox's favorite.
Got to move again.
May I, Mike, just for a second?
Yeah, sure.
So the next cabinet that we're going to be talking about is the Pac-Mania cab. It's currently available from Arcade1Up. It is the Pac-Mania $4.99 cab. We can do a quick review of this. It has Wi-Fi leaderboard, 17-inch screen, 14 classic games: Pac-Man, Pac-Mania, Galaga, Dig Dug, Galaxian, Pac-Land, Super Pac-Man, Pac-Man, Pac and Pal, Galaga, Mappy, Dig Dug 2, Rompers, and Rolling Thunder. So that is what we're about to rank. Hope that was okay, Mike. I thought.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it.
Cool.
Saves me the trouble. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
So cabinet design, we were all pretty gagged on this one. We thought the cabinet design looked pretty good. They really went above and beyond with this new Legacy line. We thought all of them were pretty spectacular. I would argue that cabinet design is definitely in the territory of 5 or 4. I'm not in love with Pac-Mania as a cabinet itself, but it does look really good.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Look at that.
I'm a
sucker.
5.
It looks.
You're a 5?
There's a lot going on there,
Yeah.
Now, is it authentic? That's the next category.
That's the next category.
Now, the design, I think, is cool. There's several callbacks to several different types of cabinets, so I'm digging it.
All right, Justin, about to lock in a 5 there.
Yeah, I'll do a 5 on that one. When it comes to cabinet design, they brought the first time they brought a Pac-Man with a coin door in the lift, to get the high tire. That's cool. It's cool.
Authenticity, and this is where it's going to get interesting because there's a lot of things that are really good about this cabinet, but the marquee is just the standard marquee. And one thing that makes the original Pac-Mania cab so special is it actually had a very special marquee that was actually like blown out plastic.
Is it this? Did I find it?
Let's see. Maybe.
This guy?
Is it the blown out one?
I'm not sure what blown out is.
It just means it's 3D.
It's 3D.
Oh, it was 3D? Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Talk about a missed
like
opportunity
this.
then.
Like this.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that would have been... that would have been really cool.
So, like, I know that's a big one, but I would mark it down because it doesn't have that same feature. I know that's asking a lot, but it is a concession.
Well, I don't know. I mean, listen, they've got 1,000 different Pac-Man cabinets out there. This would be a great way to stand out, for sure. Yeah, I'm looking at an image now. That's cool. I didn't know that.
Jeff Rainwater, if we're being too generous, I will send you the link. You can come on. And also, you could be on a show. Like, it's okay to be on a show and then to stay on a show. I know that's hard to do. But if you want to come on, I'll send you a link, brother, if you think we're being too generous.
There you go.
I got to agree with the marquee. I'm looking at an image now, and The side shape is pretty similar, even the little Z-back thing going on in the back there. But you're right, Mike. It's a missed opportunity. That marquee could have really been, if nothing else, that same style, right?
Yeah.
With the blue. Yeah.
I think there's room for improvement on it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so where are we going? Authenticity. The rest of the cab looks pretty good, but I would say just that marquee would knock it down to about a 4 or 3.
That's fair. I think 4.
Well, you forgot the column of "Would you buy this?"
I was told not to buy Michael B.
It all factors in. It all factors in. What about build quality? Now, this is the one that's going to be hardest for us to answer because I don't think any of us have actually played this.
I got you.
Okay.
You. That's a TN monitor, my brother.
Yes, it is.
A TN monitor with not so good backlight.
The glare. It's really bad.
So I think it automatically removes a little bit of pointage on that one.
Absolutely. I mean, I think we haven't played it, so let's use our powers of assumption here. We have MK30. Build quality is pretty good. That cabinet shape was very different, but it was put together well. Monitor is going to be the sticking point for sure. So yeah, 2 it is.
Come on, Rainwater, let's go.
Yeah, just do it like the guy who sent what was it? We were laughing last night. The guy sent out the video of him doing the monitor swap. And like I said, positive 55 seconds. He's there totally shirtless. He's like, this is glorious.
It's hot. It's hot out there, guys. This summer's hot.
It's rough out there.
All right, game demand. This one's going to suffer because if there's one cabinet where people are like, oh, not another. I'm like, it's fine. It's a cash cow, but they're going to keep making it. But if there's one cabinet, people are like, we don't need any more of these games. We've seen them a million times. I'm not excited about this. It's Pac-Man. So would the game demand be low for Pac-Mania, with this being the 67th iteration of Pac-Man in a 3/4 scale cabinet?
I think it has 2. I'm going with 1.
Rolling Thunder, I think, gives it the edge. It's slightly,
If you compare it to another cabinet, if you say it's a 2, which cabinet's the 1?
The last Namco Legacy, because it only had 12 games and no Wi-Fi.
Oh, the last Namco Legacy had the correct Pac-Man art, though.
It did, but it did not have the Wi-Fi or the 14 games.
Wait. This is game demand, and we have game list. These are 2 different categories.
Sorry. So if we're talking about game demand, just game, there was 2 fewer games.
What? No. Don't even look at that. Games list comes into it. I'll be clear on the game demand too. We're talking about the marquee title. So when you want to see that marquee title as a 3/4 scale release, where does Pac-Mania stand? Like, were you like, man, if there's one arcade I would love to have as a piece of functional furniture in my home, it's Pac-Mania.
I have to remind myself what was on the other cabinet.
Yeah. No. See, Fox, you're talking about games list. No.
Yeah.
Just imagine this only had 1 game.
Well,
just Pac-Mania.
And like he says, if it was
so we're not even considering the other games on the sorry. Okay, no. All right.
That's the last column.
Only the marquee game is under consideration.
We're making up the
not
rules as we go along.
Okay, then 0. I guess 1 is the lowest one. Yeah, 1.
Okay.
If that's the only criteria, and we've had this 12 different ways from Sunday already.
Right.
So.
Game demand. Does anyone want this? Answer is no.
No.
Oh man, Jeff Rainwater. This guy's on all the
He's not naked at all.
This is not what I expected.
We can't hear you though.
He's not even mostly naked.
There you go.
It's so hot here.
Is that a fan on going full blast?
Can you hear that?
A little bit,
yeah.
But it's
slightly.
Here,
It makes me feel at home, like this is Super Game Room dudes with Detroit Love, though, so it's fine.
It's like, I don't know. I'm not used to the heat. See, I'm a Washingtonian. It never gets real hot here, and even then, I got air conditioning, which is not working right now, of course. So
JJ's like,
that's not
so
good.
A wife beater? A wife beater? Really?
My wife. This is. I decided not to be totally naked for you guys, so you can decide what else you think I'm wearing.
So you've disappointed us by you're a never nude, aren't you, Jeff? You can tell the truth.
I'm a never nude. Do you want to see me nude? I don't think so.
No.
I'm just saying. Wait, I think I misunderstood. You guys are ranking these 1 to 10, or are they 1 to 5?
1 to 5.
1 to 5.
Okay, well then you guys are wrong. Well, okay,
No, look,
but hear me out. A 5 out of 5 is perfect then, right? So you're saying that Golden Tee is a perfect cab design. The Pac-Mania Legacy is a perfect cab design.
5 is, yes, I would say that it's pretty much perfect comparative to Arcade1Up's previous releases.
Understanding
Everything's a 5, right?
Understanding that it is a 3/4 version. It's not. It's not a 1-to-1.
So we're just being relative to we're being with expectation. We're keeping our expectations.
What was the intention? The intention was we're going to make a 3/4 scale cab.
Fair. Okay.
And compared to
that's
like
where we're at. Yeah.
last year models, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Like, I mean, the moment you go down to, is this cabinet design what my absolute dreams would be? No, they're not. They wouldn't get a 5 at all.
Gotcha.
No,
okay.
I want it to be a 1-for-1 recreation of an original cabinet.
Let's make that disclaimer. If Arcade1Up, you're watching this, what we really want is a 1-to-1 replica. Like I want to say Replicate, but that's a brand, right?
Yeah.
But then just not as deep, right?
Yeah, a little more shallow. Yes.
Yeah, a little more shallow because otherwise it's going to be you're just selling arcades at that point.
Less heavy, no CRT. I don't want to get electrocuted.
25-inch LCD. Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, very quickly, Vic Vicious. I did explain this earlier, and thank you for the super chat. You didn't have to do that, but we're not doing the reskin. So even though, yes, I know Game Demand for Dig Dug is more popular, and maybe Joust is more popular than MK30th, we're just not including them because they're merely reskins right now at this point, and they're only from Shop Hippo, which I've never heard of before. So anyways, I apologize. I am not including those because they are merely reskins.
Also, he's just making this all up anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
That is also true. Yes.
This is like, what is it? What was the name of the show where Drew Carey was the host there for a while? Whose line is it anyways?
Whose line is it anyways?
The points don't really matter.
The points don't matter. Yeah.
Sure. All right. So games list on the Namco Legacy. It is a good games list, and the games do play well.
Sell us on it.
Mm-hmm.
Sell you on it. Oh my God. I don't know if I have to sell you on it, Justin. I mean, we've seen the games. It's the same 12 games that were on the Namco Legacy last year. They were all great. They all work well on the vertical monitor. They've included, Rolling Thunder and an additional Galaga game. Is that what the game?
It only has
13 or 14
Galaga and Galaxian.
Okay. So what are the additional games?
Good?
It's got both Dig Dugs.
Yeah, the last one had both Dig Dugs. What?
On Rolling Thunder, you can't even shoot up, right? It's just vertical. Do you even like that game?
A lot of people like Rolling Thunder. I think more of the NES Tension Kart when I think Rolling Thunder, but that's because of my history. What's the extra game on that cabinet?
Mappy, Rompers. Here, let's look over.
Yeah.
You got a list?
So we got Pac-Man, Pac-Mania, Galaga, Dig Dug, Galaxian, Pac-Land, Super Pac-Man, Pac-Man Plus, Pac and Pal, Galaga, Mappy, Dig Dug 2, Rompers, Rolling Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say half of those are good and half of them are total garbage. That's
if you some of these newer cabinets, the ones that have 12 games in it, it's like 2 pages. The first page is great. The second page you never go to.
Galaga 88 is the one that you forgot. That's the extra game. Galaga
Where's
88.
it at?
So Galaga 88.
Before Mappy.
I see it. I see it.
Yeah. So Galaga 88
Yes.
is actually an incredible inclusion. Like the only, like Jeff, you're saying Rolling Thunder. A lot of people love Rolling Thunder, but it is a horizontal game on a vertical screen. So you're getting it at 13 inches. So is Pac-Land as well. I think they're the only 2 vertical games. I don't know. I think the games list is pretty good. I'm leaning more 3-4, but I open up to the floor. You guys.
I appreciate the variety, but I don't know. It's got a lot of just crappy Pac-Man knockoffs on there that are just not good to me. But I don't know. And I'd rather have Mr. Do. I'm not a Dig Dug guy. I'm not a Dig Dug guy. So there you go. The Galaga, Galaxian, Galaga 88, those are all bangers. I like those. So, yeah. Fox, Justin? Look, I
It's
don't wanna
worse.
say-
I'd say 2.
Yeah, I'm going to go
You're
with a 2
saying
also.
2, really?
Yeah. It's, if we're talking about, I know Game Demand was a different title or a different category, but we were only looking at the marquee game. I think Game Demand has to factor in with the games list, and it's all been done before. There's nothing new here.
Yeah, that's true. Galaga 88 even has been on. And
Thanks.
what further waters us down is Miss Pac-Man. And we're going to come up to it later with a Miss Pac-Man Legacy.
Mhm.
But we've had a Miss Pac-Man where some of these games have been shared. And then we had that Miss Pac-Man Class of 81 last year where more of these games have been shared. So it is watered down a little bit. I was going to say 3, but I will give you guys your 2 based on the watered downness of the games. How's that?
Okay, take a screenshot of this comment
Works for me.
fast here.
You guys looking forward to the Microsoft Office cabinet? Sure is. Oh, look at this. There's a comment there from John D. I've got to share with you.
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
does Jeff still set in that hang top?
That's going to be my email signature line now.
All right, moving on, and we'll try to move this one by a little bit faster. Centipede Legacy cabinet design. Now, keep and remember, build quality and authenticity are 2 separate factors. Cabinet design, Centipede Legacy.
All right, so here it is, guys. This is the Atari Legacy Arcade Machine Centipede Edition coming at us at $4.99. Now, doesn't this just look beautiful? But it may be
He's selling
missing
it.
something that you really wish it had. Let's take a closer look at those pictures here. Look how beautiful it is from this angle and that angle. We got a little fern there going on. Oh my God, it's so sexy. This person's staring
there's
down.
John D.
Was this picture shoot done in Jason Third Floor Arcade's
I
house?
think it was. I mean,
The fern is always there.
the Arcade1Up Centipede
Listen.
Legacy Machine. Can you take a look at this room? We got a bullseye in the background. We got a fern there. Look, listen, the camera is zooming closer. No, now it's turning, sparkling, things going all over the place.
Wow.
Lasers around the marquee.
Really selling
Look
it,
at that
Justin.
dog. That dog looks amazing. Buy the dog, not the cab.
Ooh, so does it have that new marquee
Wait a
like
minute.
Mortal
What is
Kombat,
this?
or
What
is
are these
it
lights?
or is it that I don't have it? but
Lasers
does,
everywhere.
does it have the Mortal Kombat marquee, or is
Got
this?
freaking lasers.
Now I'm,
Lasers on their
now
head.
I'm upset it doesn't have the lasers. Those were cool. Like, I want those, John.
Oh,
Mike, I
my.
think it does have the MK30th.
MK mark.
Yeah,
It certainly
marquee.
looks
Yeah,
like it there.
I think it does. That may be with all these new.
Are you saying
Legacies.
it doesn't have the good monitor?
But it doesn't have the
not
good
gonna
monitor.
have. It's not the good monitor, and it's
Yeah, I've
probably
seen
not the
people post
orientation everybody
online and
wants
they're
to.
like, no.
Okay, so anyways, cabinet itself, I am leaning again. I looked at all these. I thought this was pretty much perfect for the 3/4 scale of a recreation of, well, I'm not going to say a recreation, but I thought it was pretty much close to a 5 on the cabinet design. Because remember, authenticity and build quality are going to come up later. So we'll talk about the screen more in those.
Oh wait, it does have the volcano buttons. Keep that
Yeah.
one in mind.
Mm-hmm.
That can be for cabinet design because it's the first time they've ever used volcano buttons, but it's also going to play to authenticity.
In which one are we gonna mark it down for having too many games and not a vertical screen?
That's
That's
well,
coming later.
it's going to come up for authenticity for the screen and then authenticity again on the games list.
I
Well,
think we
the
gotta go
vertical
5
screen.
on cabinet design, right? I mean,
Based on what we're doing, yes, I would agree.
That's-
Thank you,
I
Jeff,
think-
for moving things
I'm-
along here.
I'm thinking of 4 though. I don't know. Just looking at the confusion on the control panel.
hold-
I
What
don't know.
in God's name?
you
Just
think
saying.
the Pac-Mania was better designed than this?
No,
I think so.
he does bring up a
think so.
point. Justin, if you could bring up the cabinet again and just go to
Yeah,
the
I got
button.
it
The
right here.
control panel.
Yeah. So one area I agree with you, Fox, and this is for cabinet design. It's the placement of that spinner because it's the same placement where it is in Tempest. And people
Yes.
always shit on me for this, but like I hate the fact that my wrist is laying on the buttons while I'm using the spinner, and people are like, "You don't put the
I
wrist on
think
the
that's
control
valid.
panel."
I think that's valid.
But I think it's a bad placement for the spinner.
Where
You
would
don't
you
have-
put it?
Not there.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think there's a better spot to put it unless you make the control panel bigger.
Maybe Jeff.
Jeff's a freaking shill. Shilling for arcade.
Shill for
sitting here
Arcade1Up
saying
shill.
how great this
First of all,
cabinet is.
John, your check bounced. Can you?
Could you say that again?
Yeah, need to get that pretty quick here.
B. Just in time.
Hello.
What's happening, B? Thank you so much.
Yeah, I thought I see. Are we talking about modding in tiers or something else?
No, we're not talking about
You
mine.
came to the wrong show, bud.
So I will tell
Do you
you.
even know what channel you're on at this point? Like, it doesn't matter.
I will.
Doesn't matter.
I will tell you. The original concept for this was to just have a brief conversation, very quickly, about how we're going to grade Arcade1Up's performance this past year, and then B-Kong shamed me, and he said, like, "Oh, are you going to do like a tier list? Like, what's the word you use? Your Rufix for
Your rubric.
Rubric.
Yeah.
your rubric?" And I was just
Rubric
like,
cube.
B.
No,
I didn't,
we went
I
with a
didn't-
spreadsheet.
Yeah. I was
At
like, B,
this
I-
rate, this is a 2.5 hour
We're not
show.
even halfway there.
I hope you guys enjoy. Give us a thumbs up. Hit 1 in the chat if you're fine with the 2.5 hour show.
I'm
I
going to
like
speed it up.
this.
I'm trying.
Yes.
All right.
Go ahead.
Okay, so-
we're gonna stomp all over P-Dubs
Cabinet design. Do we want to change the 5 to a 4 because
Yes.
of the spin?
because of the
Okay.
location of the spinner.
Oh, it hurts me so much that you give it a lower score than Pac-Mania.
I know,
think
it looks better.
can we go back and now give
Beautiful.
Pac-Mania 4?
Let's give it a 4.
What are you
Yes,
gonna do?
there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because it's not better than
And then Golden
Centipede.
Tee.
That's why.
I think it's fair. Like, this is really
that
like
makes sense.
if we were to say to Arcade1Up, are you going in the right direction? Do you need to go any better? Excluding the idea of a replica machine. Like Golden Tee, when it comes to the cabinet design, we're like, the physical design, you nailed it.
You nailed it.
Pac-Mania, like, it's
Close.
good, but it's not great.
Gotcha.
Centipede's like, we gotta knock you for that control panel.
Okay. And also, I know the trackball, everybody gets mad because of the coloring, but the coloring is accurate. The spinner, I think the spinner could have been white. I think people were actually pretty excited about the white spinner in the early renders. So I don't know why they went with black. I think white volume on off and the white spinner would have looked better on that cabinet. Just my
They're
opinion.
running
They
out
were
of
running out of
white-
white controls.
running out of white.
you
Oh
know.
yeah, that's right. I forgot. That's why they're not on Mortal
MK30th
Kombat.
also. Did,
Is that a joke, or did they really run out of?
I don't know. I think they
No, it's
did.
a joke. It's a joke.
Something's wrong.
Okay, authenticity with the Centipede cab, and I'm gonna just frame this up really easily.
Kill it.
They killed it with the volcano buttons. I was so excited they included those. They did so much right with this cabinet in doing a recreation. Like, I love it. It's beautiful. But Jesus Christ, if you're going to put Centipede as the marquee game, how do you use a horizontal monitor on the cabinet? So, I mean, it gets knocked down so much on authenticity because of the screen they used.
You're so right. And I just want to know how long this was sitting in that studio. Look how much
the
dirt is on top of it. I mean, like, come on.
With a duster, a
This
Swiffer
is the
duster.
level
So this
of
was clearly
scrutiny
like
that we go
hanging
to.
out at Arcade1Up
That
for
retro
months.
weathering.
Takes a hit
You know.
there. for
Well,
sure.
see, they did that original photo shoot with the first guy that couldn't wait to put his pictures up on Instagram. Remember?
Oh,
Did he get booted from the whole set?
I
He
don't
was
know.
fired.
Oh no!
Never to be
We need
seen
the
again.
backstory on that one. He's not
Okay.
in the...
Okay, we got to speed this up. Remember, guys, come on. Build quality. Let's move on to build quality. I don't have one.
I don't know. Does anyone have one?
Peter McNabb here in Canada. Model Dude's fate is a 5, though. Agree, John.
I
Agree.
did see Jennifer Yabbit, Philly chick, talking a lot about her recent Centipede Legacy, and she complained as a hardcore player about the sensitivity of the spinner. So that, I think, for your casual person, is interesting that it's overly sensitive versus the person that plays hardcore. That it's not as quality as she'd like it to
You know,
be.
we've seen them address that with updates, like with
Mhm.
Golden Tee
Yes.
XL. So maybe
So that's the
something we could
only
address.
like part
There's
issue
room
that
for
I've heard
What
of.
about the monitor?
Room
Is
for
this,
improvement,
is this
though.
the category where we dock them for the monitor?
Oh hell yeah, brother!
Oh, yeah.
Correct.
So I think
How
we're
many
picking...
points does it get less because of the monitor?
It can't be a 5. It can't be a 4.
At least 2 just for the monitor by itself.
2.
Okay.
Really? It's not even a 3
No, hell
because
no.
of the, at least the controls.
Cabinet
We're
It's
so
not
design
we're
is
so
good.
we're so bitter.
Why are you guys so anti-TN, huh? What did
No,
TNC
listen,
ever
no,
do?
no,
to
no.
you?
TN's fine.
TN is fine.
It's all
TN
about the backlighting.
It's all about that backlight. Know what I'm saying?
TN is fine. 5x4 is fine. absolutely. But get a good screen with good backlighting.
It could have got a couple points if they would have put those lasers on it. I'm just saying. Those lasers
That would have helped. It would have helped.
Those were cool looking.
People were writing me about the MK30th when the review video first came out, and they were like, "Can you believe they put a light in the dragon's eye?" And I was like, "I don't think that's real."
John, you got to have a little thing at the bottom. It's
Disclaimer.
like, lighting is CGI After Effects or something.
Something, yeah.
Okay, game demand. How excited were people to get more Atari games? Specifically, a Centipede cab. How excited were people for that from Arcade1Up, especially this year?
I don't think it's a 1.
No, it's not a one. Not at all.
A lot of people were excited when they saw that leaked image.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And excited at the potential. Maybe not what they got, but
this is a Gen 1. Like, finally, they're doing a cab from the early days.
Well, okay, let me ask this. This, I'm assuming, has full-on leaderboard support, right? Because my Atari 12-in-1, the leaderboards, nope.
Correct.
So,
Online
Okay.
Wi-Fi.
Does
can we give them points for that?
what are the
I almost want to upgrade this just for that. But
It's fair. It's fair.
I think that's fair, right?
Yeah.
what's the difference between game demand and games list?
I'm gonna put down
it's whatever
4.
you want it to be.
It's
See-
the marquee game.
Yeah, well, I would really put games list is also quality of the game. So Wi-Fi leaderboards, I would include that under games list because that's also
Okay.
quality of the games, software, and emulation. So features like
Okay.
Wi-Fi would be under games list in this rating scale where the points don't matter. So
Yeah.
And I
game
would rate
demand,
games list higher than
game
games
demand
then,
specifically, game demand specifically relates to the cabinet. How excited are people to get a Centipede branded Arcade1Up cabinet to add to their collection?
Be the rules change per game, so we have no idea
Yeah.
what's going on.
Yeah. There's a lot
I
of
wanted to
bias
hear
on
about that
each
Rubik.
game.
I don't know. I don't see people out there screaming for Centipede. You know, they're screaming for Blitz. They're screaming for
People were
off-road.
excited
Make
about
off-road happen.
people were excited about the leak, so I will give it a 3.
Sounds good.
Now, games list.
Dang.
It has pretty much exactly the same games list as the original Tempest cabinet, except no, Arca was on the last one.
Oh,
It
I
actually
was thinking
brought
of the
back
12.
It brought back, I think it's Lunar Lander and Super Breakout was added. And
Yep.
those are fantastic games. Also, that's where you get your extra points for the Wi-Fi leaderboard. I would say games list is a 3 to a 4. That's my opinion.
But it gets knocked because they didn't put Quantum on it.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Wonder
but
if
see,
maybe Quantum doesn't work well in a leader.
3.5.
that's not even one of the better games on the 12-in-1. Quantum, really?
Quantum.
My daughter likes it, but Super Breakout though, that's a good.
Super Breakout's real good.
It's really good.
That's good. That's good.
You know what?
Okay.
Screw it. I'm going to give it a 4.
Your show, buddy.
Moving on.
Well, you're controlling the keyboards. Your number.
Mortal Kombat 30th Legacy.
Woohoo!
The
So just
30th league.
on the cabinet design, looks, build, all that stuff, where do you stand with MK 30th?
Well, don't we got to do? Someone's got to do
Justin,
the
you do
cab
the
review, right?
I know. I'm just
No.
speeding things
Someone else
up
got to
here.
volunteer.
6.
No, B. You do.
Oh wait,
it.
sorry.
It's the breakdown.
No Johnny
B.
Cage.
Someone's got to do the voiceover. Come
Oh.
on, B. Do the voiceover.
Rainwater. I have something to show you at some point. Johnny Cage is still there.
What?
There's
He's on the wall.
there's a-
Oh, wait, no,
no. If you look at the side of the cabinet, under the dragon at a certain part, a very minute piece of Johnny Cage is still in
It's
the
still
artwork
there.
that they forgot to
What?
crop out. Yeah,
Yeah.
Are you serious?
yeah.
Oh no, they couldn't even take him all the way out.
No,
This
he's
is
still
the
still
brand
in
new
there.
Mortal Kombat
He should sue.
Midway Legacy Edition.
Coming to
It's-
your arcade.
This is like
still
Back
there.
to the Future, right? Where Eric Stoltz is still in the movie.
Let's call a spade here. This is a 5. That's my
Okay.
opinion. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
stick with that being a 5. I mean,
Yeah.
that
Okay.
midway shape, they nailed it. So 5.
Yeah.
Is that fair, B? What do you think?
I think
B's muted.
Oh, are you
can't-
muted?
I think 4.9 because like no Johnny Cage, but other than that, it's a 5, right?
Yeah, John D saw it as well. 5% Johnny Cage.
Authenticity goes down because of the lack of Johnny Cage. So there you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
authenticity.
There you
Okay,
go.
we'll nail
There
him
you
in
go.
that. There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
authenticity.
Fine,
Authenticity
okay.
goes down because of the lack of Johnny Cage, which there was nothing they could do about that. We know that. But also, man, those yellow buttons. Yeah.
The yellow buttons.
It's a big deal, guys. It's a big
They
deal.
were white. They just let them sit out in the sun for too long.
that's what they are. They're made out of recycled old Super
White
Nintendo
pigment
plastic.
was in short supply, I'm telling you.
I give them a 4 here just because of that artwork side of things, but everything else looks
I
good.
think it's that's fair.
That's fair.
Okay.
I agree.
Build quality. Screen is really the big issue.
It's totally playable. So
It's playable. That's not a category. Playability.
Screen.
even talking about
Gets
this is
it.
the first time we've seen this cap shape and design. It was very well built. Like
That's why it's a 3
Way
instead of a
different.
2 because it is
Okay.
so good. It is good. The cabinet's
The
comfortable.
monitor-
It's very
it's-
comfortable.
-2 just for the monitor.
Just
Let's
for the
be
monitor.
clear. Let's be
Okay.
clear. This is the worst monitor Arcade
all-
1Up ever
of
put
all
in a
time.
cabinet. Worse
Ever.
than Wave 1.
Facts.
Wow.
Period.
All right, game demand. So Mortal Kombat, Zohar has been leading this charge for years. How excited were people to get an original Mortal Kombat cabinet in their arcade?
I think everybody was, right? I mean,
The
and it was
fifth version of
MK
Mortal Kombat we've gotten done.
online. So
Jeff's
it
like,
was,
that's not Riptide Renegade.
if we're
I'm not a fighting game guy, so I may have to abstain on this category,
Okay.
but
if we're just talking about the game, the marquee title, right? That's all we're talking about.
Yep, that's it.
And the marquee title's artwork, and the fact that it was that marquee game was going to be online. All that culminates in a lot of demand, I think.
Yeah.
I'm thinking 5 guys.
But
What do you
they
think?
did come out with a lot of Mortal Kombats. I mean, you can get this. You can get this in Gen 1.5, Gen 2. They got a Legacy version. They got the Ultimate version.
But it was always a different art,
They
right?
got the counter
MK2,
Talking about
MK3.
I'd say it's a 3 from a demand standpoint. It's just
they're like,
another
give us
version with
MK1.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But guys,
But,
Paperboy.
That goes
Oh,
in
I'm
the
sorry.
games
That's the
list.
next one. That's games list. Okay.
All right.
why don't they just leave that off? I think they're
I've asked him about that, but apparently
they won't
it's
not,
a
right. You're better
it's a
off to
night-
just not.
it's a nightmare to find an appropriate other game to add. Like even if you said Wacko, your controls are screwed up on that too. So it's tough. It's tough to find 14 games. That's why I'm the big bad guy when I'm like, screw it, less games, more accuracy.
Might as well. Yeah.
All right, so games list again. Wi-Fi online fighting for me. This was very exciting. Like we'll argue on whether or not it was done really well. No lobbies, no spectate mode. But I mean, playing Mortal Kombat Online, being able to rip a buddy's head off. Unfortunately, P-Dubs is really good. I just really wanted to rip his head off, but I don't think I'll be able to. So, what do you guys think about games list, the software and emulation, and the online performance?
It's a great games list. I mean, there's a couple that are there, but
Mhm.
If
for
we're
the
talking
most
about
part-
like the lobby system and the games list, that was one of the biggest detractors in my experience of if it was a fighting game cabinet and those types of features. There's some sorely lacking components for that. So that gets docked in my opinion
Yeah.
because it was a fighting game as a marquee. So highest would be 4 for me. I could go 3 here.
Yeah. Have we docked it for not having the spectate mode? Like, I don't think we have anywhere else.
Would that be in
That plus Paperboy, like
quality?
just games that aren't part of the controls
Oh, yeah.
schemes of things.
Yeah.
So I mean, 4 would be the highest, but it's still an overall good list of games overarchingly. So yeah,
I'm giving it the 4.
keeping it going.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Dragon
ties
Slayer.
with Golden Tee so far? What?
I know.
What?
Could
Dragon
be.
Slayer. Cabinet design 5. Authenticity 5. Build quality. I can't comment on that because I don't have one yet. Super delayed here in Canada. B, what would you give the build quality?
I also think it's really, really high. Like with the screen, the secondary kind of alphanumeric screen, I tore it apart. It looks really good and clean. I've seen no issues from a build quality standpoint.
Oh
I
my
mean, it
God.
has to be a 4 or a 5.
I
don't
see where
know.
this is going.
Does this one have leaderboards though?
It does not have any of
No
those
Wi-Fi at all.
features because
Nope.
there's
No
a capped
leaderboards?
leaderboard on there.
But
There's
I'm not a huge Dragon Slayer player, but I heard like the game only has one. It's like if you reach the end in a certain way, you're gonna get the top score. So
Yeah.
if
That's
you
true.
play it enough, you're just gonna get the top score. Is that right? Is that true?
yeah, the game officially caps at a certain level, but there's some like unlimited scores you can do. So there is no like real way to manage a high score unless you said high scores with only 5 lives, high scores with unlimited lives, high scores with this thingy. So they tried to make it arcade authentic by not even having that because there was never a leaderboard on the high score list. So people
Hold
are
on.
just putting 5.
There's an amazing comment here. Ritual Dello, thank you for tuning in to hour 7 of our C-SPAN coverage of the day.
Recognizing the gentleman
We're
from
about to do
Canada.
a filibuster here.
Hey, how come
to-
T2 and Ridge Racer aren't on this list?
Because technically they were last year's releases.
Last year.
Because
But
they
they
came
out
to
this year?
because they come to retail late, they're not this year's releases. They were last year's releases. It's not our fault they didn't come to retail at the right time.
I think John D is right. Honestly, he said Dragon Slayer is not a leaderboard type game.
It's not.
Sort of. It really isn't.
not.
You're right. Now that I think about it, like, why did iArcade go through the trouble of putting that leaderboard on there? I don't know.
I have no
Because there's
idea.
still some people that you wanted to show that you can get a perfect score and prove to others that you can get a perfect score fast folks. It was a nice feature at the time.
Console fanboy with a $10 super chat. Jason is wondering if Yoga Flame will have spectate mode. Not only will it have a spectate mode, it will have a BOE monitor and it'll be perfect in every way. They love Capcom.
We're not even to
Thank
that
you for the
cap
super
yet.
chat,
not
Console
bitter.
fanboy. We'll get to that.
He's not bitter at all.
We'll get to that. So, guys, build quality. I really love the fact that they went and removed the BYOS, bring your own screen, put in that alphanumeric screen. Like, there's
I would
so many
say
things I like about it.
I'd say
putting this
4. Just
4 to
because they
5 for
did-
me.
Yeah, because they
How
didn't.
would they make
had
it
this-
better?
The waterfall design of the of
Okay.
the marquee, of the
Oh,
control
yeah.
panel,
4.
like that design change, and then this a slightly squished marquee. It's not as perfect. as it
Better,
could be.
maybe better controls, bigger monitor. I mean, those are two things iArcade has on
No.
it, right?
It's fair.
No, absolutely.
That's right.
That's fair.
I'm going to run over P-dubs. Oh, I got to hurry
You
up.
gotta hurry up, brother. We may have a part 2.
Go message
Thank
Bring
you
him
so
on
much,
here. What's the difference? You
So
do
much
that every
for
day
people.
anyway, right? Just-
No, he's got a specific show. I got to speed up. I'm sorry. I'm not used to him going
Okay,
after.
Quick, go. We'll
Go,
just
go.
scream if we disagree.
Games demand.
Games
Games
demand.
demand. 5.
5.
People were looking
Everyone
for it.
screamed for that.
Games list. I mean, it's a limited games list, but it
I
is
didn't really
what
like
you're
Is
going
it
to put
missing
on there.
anything?
5.
No. All right. NBA
All right.
Jam Shaq Edition. Cabinet
2.
design. No. Cabinet design. The build of the cabinet. How it's put
Yeah, but it has
together.
this big guy on the side.
That's where we're going to. That's
I
authenticity.
don't get the hate for this cabinet. I kind of
Okay.
like it.
I'm giving it a 4.
Did you buy
Okay,
one?
4.
No, but there's a lot of Arcade1Ups I didn't buy. So
I'm giving it a 4.
I don't have any more space.
I really like the build quality. The only knock I'll give it is Beacon pointed this out, and Robert, you pointed this out. The control
Yes.
panel isn't
Control
any
panel.
bigger. It's
Way
too
too
small.
small.
And it's missing a joystick on that last picture.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Where is
go
it at?
back.
And no
Go back.
coin door.
Yeah, at the third picture over. It's missing a joystick.
Just flat.
I like it. I might have
Dropped.
bought one, but I already have 2 regular NBA
Yeah,
Jam
so
cabinets.
I give it a 4 on build design. Authenticity, this is where it really is impacted. The
It's a
branding
2.
with Shaquille O'Neal, for being the first big like XL cab that a lot of people really excited about. I would have been excited about it. Like, I can't tell you enough how much it bothered me that they didn't go with the original art and then throw a coin door on the front. And for people saying, well, this is a special edition cab, this isn't Chinatown Market where there's only a limited quantity. This is the retail version. There is no other version. So authenticity, it gets a 3. That's my opinion.
That's fair.
yeah,
That's generous.
I think so.
Fair.
Build quality, TN monitor. Are we going 3 or 2?
2.
No, I like the upgraded marquee on it, and some of the build pieces of it from a singular piece without the riser.
Yep.
I'd say 3.
You pushed it to a 3.
2.5.
Okay. How excited were people about getting a re-release of NBA Jam? It was rather recent. I mean, it was wave 3, wave 4. Is this one of the ones we really wanted right away?
There's like no demand for this.
There was no
Say.
As far
nobody.
as the games list is concerned, or the game demand, no.
I don't think anyone's upgrading to this. That's for sure.
No.
Games list. The games that are included, I think they're fine. I mean,
It's
what else are you
insane.
going to put on it? So it's
3.
you say 3. I go 4. I mean,
That's fine. 4's fine. Yeah. That's fair.
All right. Miss Pac-Man Legacy cabinet design.
Is this the black and pink one?
Yes.
Oh.
Ugh.
Oh.
Ugh.
Well, that's we'll get into that in authenticity. I'm going to tear these next 2 cabinets apart.
All right, so
Get him. Get him,
here we
Mike.
go. This black Miss Pac-Man cabinet. Now, this one, I think it's got a BOE in it, actually. My guess
does.
is this is just
does.
simply a
This is just
reskinned
Namco.
previous cab, so it
Yeah.
has the same, like...
Yeah. I had this original cab, and I still think that marquee is recessed too far back. There's like this still weird gap. And so from a cabinet design standpoint, I had it, I sold it. I this is the classic design. I'd give it a 3.
So you've seen this in person.
I've seen the shape of the cabinet in person by having a Ms. Pac-Man. It's the same shape they've used for their...
Right,
Because I'm almost wondering if this is one of those kind where it's like, it just doesn't look into the pictures, but when you see it in person, you're like, wow, I was way wrong. But probably not.
Cabinet design. I always thought this cabinet design was pretty good, but I agree with B that the marquee is maybe a little bit too far back. What I would have liked to have seen them do is include, I think it's an S panel with this design and had a more recessed screen. That would have
Exactly.
been a much better cabinet design.
The later
I will
cabs, recess screen, make it look so much better. If they redesigned this cabinet, I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but I will give them extra marks for including the
Coin door.
coin door. So I'm going to say 3 on the cabinet design for Miss Pac-Man because it's not a new form factor and there's a lot of opportunity for improvement.
Mm-hmm.
Authenticity, 1. Moving on.
That didn't exist? The black-
Moving on.
No.
That's fair. It's fair. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Creator cabs get a 1. Build quality. We know it's going to have BOE, so it has a higher build. It has a higher build quality. Is there anything else we really want to talk about? It's going to be the same components, same
And
parts.
it's all
everything.
speculation at this point. We don't know how bad
Yeah,
the
we
marquee is
can't-
with
we
the
can't
print
do-
stuff. So this one's going to be
Can't-
hard speculation.
We
Well, I
could
know
we could base it on the previous design and assume
That's
it's
what
the
we
same.
have to do.
The old Namco with a coin door, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think
Great.
any of these cabinets can get a 5 in build quality just
Can you
for
go
the
back
fact
to the
that
marquee?
we know that the buttons are not going to be quality.
Is it a
Right.
black marquee at the top? So I think those blacks are going to be washed out on that. So
Well,
just knowing
that's
that there's
been
black on there,
Yeah.
it's going to be washed out.
Yeah, well, they do have an exclusive deal with Epson Eco Tank now with the Shaq thing, so they're definitely going to be washed out. All right, so let's go
Give it a
build
3.
quality. Let's say 3.
Okay.
All right, moving on. Game demand. How excited were people to get another Miss Pac-Man, the 3rd in 3 years?
Wah, wah, wah.
If we
Whatever,
did
Pac-Man.
If we said 1 for Pac-Mania, this has to be 1.
I agree.
Agreed.
Did
Was
they
the
do
very
anything
first Ms. Pac-Man like really hot though? Like when it
Oh, yeah.
first came out?
Yeah,
Just the
very
fact that they
excited.
got it. But every release after that is like
Everybody had 5 other opportunities to get it. Yeah. So
Yeah, this
Games
one is
list.
Dragon Buster. Is that
it has
that's
a good
new
games
one.
list, doesn't it?
I actually
Um,
haven't seen the games list yet.
Here it is.
Dragon Busters.
Justin's got us covered.
So Ms.
They're
Pac-Man,
covered.
I like how they ordered it much better, and also
Yeah.
all the spaces in here are easier to read. So Ms. Pac-Man, the Galaga and Galaxian, Dig Dug 2, Mappy,
Dig Dug
Dragon
Cabinet.
Buster, Rompers, King and Balloon, Pac-Mania, Pac-Lan, Pac-Man Plus, Super Pac-Man, Pac and Pal.
I would argue this actually has a worse games list than Class of 81.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
Why are you holding out on Bosconian, John? Man, it belongs on these.
wasn't
cabinets.
Bosconian on a cabinet, Jeff? Or
It was on one of the party cades, but that
Yeah.
was it.
It doesn't even count.
All right. So what are we saying? 2 or 3 on this one on the games list?
2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Equal
it's
with
on par
Pac-Mania.
Pac-Mania, yeah.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Capcom logo Yoga Flame. So cabinet design. This one's going to be tough, but cabinet design. Honestly, I am going. I'll do the overview first. Sorry.
This is the Arcade1Up Capcom Legacy arcade game Yoga Flame Edition.
Yoga Flame.
It is $4.99, but Are you upset with the cabinet design? Is this authentic? Is this what you were expecting Arcade1Up to come out with? A Street Fighter Turbo cabinet that looks like a Mortal Kombat. But it's going to be the 35th anniversary edition. It has the deck that leans. It also has a games list. You might be surprised of the games that you'll be able to play against the Big Blue. We're going to increase the size of that competition by adding more people into the
ecosystem.
Look at this.
You will cry.
There you go.
Console fanboy who is not sour at all about the Yoga Flame edition. Yoga Flame should get 5s across the board. They will not cut any corners with this cab or with Marvel vs. Capcom II. Blitz will suck though. Remember I said that's console fanboy's opinion.
I do agree with Paul 80 though. That the Shin-Kodu conversion of this has better art because of the control panel, specifically. That it's not the Champion Edition control panel, that it's the Super Street Fighter. So I would give that higher marks.
That is a solid point.
And I like that it has the Super Street Fighter 2 marquee as well. So I agree. Really, we're going to look at both of these as the same cabinet, even though it is coming out from Shop Hippo. But cabinet design, this is where it's going to be hard. I'm not going to say 5. Well, actually, I am.
Well, you have to because it's Mortal Kombat 30.
Yep.
Yeah,
I am going to say
the same
5.
cabinet. So
I'm going to give it a 5 for cabinet design because, as we know from MK30, I can say personally, I have one.
Are you not mad that it's not a traditional Capcom style cabinet? It's a midway.
We're going to talk about that in the next section.
I think if you're not worried about authenticity, it looks like a great cabinet design. Yeah,
it's very comfortable to play. So
it is very comfortable to play.
Yes. Authenticity
1,
and that's because of the art. That's because of the artwork. Obviously, it's a creator cab, and it's the fact that it's not.
There's nothing authentic about it.
Let's give it a 2.
If you look at it from the front,
0.
without the sides,
0. I would give it a 0.
About this.
If you look at it from the front without the sides, I'm sure you would have seen
totally
Mortal Kombat's reskinned with that panel.
Okay, is anyone in an actual arcade setting? Have you ever seen Street Fighter in a midway cabinet?
I have a picture of one. Yeah, I
haven't, but
yes,
break it out.
Happens all the time.
Yes, it happens.
But it's not. But
it's super rare.
Here's the thing. I'm sticking with 1 on authenticity on this, and I will say. Again, and it's the same argument whenever I complain about the side art, people are like, well, what does it matter? You're just going to block it into the wall and have cabinets on the side.
There's going to be someone that's like, I have totally seen a Street Fighter in a Mortal Kombat and be like, really? Where? Because buy it. Buy it now and convert it to a Mortal Kombat. So you'll triple your money.
I don't care if it's not authentic. It looks nice.
Well, this is where I will give it props because on build quality, and I don't know if this is the right thing. Maybe it should be under cabinet design, but on build quality, or maybe it was cabinet design, even though it's not authentic where it lost marks, it does look cool. I mean, for people that don't give a shit about recreating an authentic arcade experience and they just want something that plays the games and looks really friggin' cool, this cabinet does that.
Though. The marquee
if it's going to be BOE, we got to give those points back that we took away from MK30.
That's right.
So does that put us at a 5 as far as build quality?
Yeah. Oh, and John has a point here too. To be fair, and John, we like this cabinet. We're not saying that, but it's not meant to be a midway cabinet. It's meant to replace what I panned horribly, and a lot of people did, which was the fighting game build of the Legacy cabinets last year. So you remember last year, Capcom and Midway had that very specific cabinet design.
Yes.
This is not 100% supposed to be a recreation of a Midway cab. It's basically just supposed to be their recreation of the Legacy cabinets.
Right. It's a generic cabinet.
That's right.
They just did so good on there. Like, take a look at this. This is their generic fighter cabinet from last year, right? But then they're like, let's make the generic cabinet design look a lot better. And when we saw it, we're like, that's a Mortal Kombat 3/4 scale. And they're like, wait, we did too good. We did too good. We were looking
I
for
think
generic
so. I
design.
mean, it's like if that's generic, I'll take it all day long. You know, it's very
Check
comfortable.
this out. Is that not
Oh,
authentic?
you stop
if you've
it.
ever seen one, come on, look at
Buy
that.
that.
Beautiful.
Buy that for $500
It
and then
doesn't
sell
even
it for
have
$2,000.
the 6 buttons.
It does. They added the button at the bottom to make it 6 buttons for the.
Oh my
And
God.
you know what?
You're not being
Hey,
honest.
that's Bobby's house.
You know what? At least they put a white button on it.
You know what? Yeah, there you go.
Oh, look, it's got the swipe card on the front. too.
Yeah, this was at a Santa Monica arcade that I.
All
Okay,
right.
so I stand
Wow.
corrected.
So for build quality, we know it has the BOE monitor. We think it's going to play really well. Buttons and everything work pretty good.
Marquee's gonna look great. I mean,
All right. Yeah. So
This one
I
we
would,
have to put in our guess, our bet.
yeah, I'm betting that this is
4.
going to be a 4. That's my
But
guess.
see,
With an
that's the
asterisk.
thing. If any of these come out and they've got like washed out marquees and stuff that we don't know until after the fact, the
Yeah.
point's got to come off. It's got to.
yeah, we can't. Yeah, we can't be held accountable for that.
We'll
but-
we'll
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
retroactively come back and
That's
fix
right.
it.
Yeah.
Save the spreadsheet.
Hold on a second. Hey guys, I'm from the future, and I've actually seen the Yoga Flame edition. It's great. It's
great?
it's awesome.
It's a 4
Change
out
it
of
to a
5 build
Yeah,
quality?
yeah.
Change it to a 5.
Just Bill intended
Okay.
it, and so
All right. Game demand. How many people
Remember
were
a trash
asking
can.
for more Street Fighter?
Nobody, but the games list will redeem it.
But that's coming up later. How many
that's
people
your
were asking
stipulation.
for more
I-
Street
I mean,
Fighter?
if you
It's
did the
got to be higher
Centipede
than
Legacy-
Pac-Man. I mean, it's
Yeah.
at least a 2 or a 3.
If we're just talking about the game, nobody was probably jonesing for this, but I think a lot of people were wanting a replacement to the Legacy. We've covered that in the cab design. So if we're just talking about the game itself, we've had these before in multiple
Oh, wow.
iterations.
Too.
So
No, not everyone wanted a Big Blue as well. So there's
there's that.
like, give me a Street Fighter that's Wi-Fi, but you know.
Would you
Not Big
say
Blue,
not Big Blue.
so? Are you saying higher than 2? Would you guys go 3?
If you gave
I
an
don't-
MK33, I would do this as a 3 as well. Since there's so many MKs, there's been just
That's
as
a
many
fair
Street Fighters.
There were
That's a
That's a
literally
fair point.
3.
there were literally 2 Street Fighters last year within the span of like 5 months.
Because of the
That's
Big
true.
Blue, that kind of pushes it one above MK as far as
There wasn't another MK. last year.
availability?
There was UMK, and then there was also wasn't the UMK plus the MK2 Legacy, right?
Yeah,
There
well,
was
the
no
that was-
MK.
that was the
UNK
reskin.
That was just a reskin. It wasn't a, separate
reskin,
cab.
yeah. What?
Says who?
I mean, you
DOE
look at the
confirmed.
final score on these.
To
It's
be
not
clear,
confirmed.
we don't actually have confirmation. We've been trying to contact support about the BOE monitor. We're going off. UAG has indicated on his streams that it is a BOE monitor. We don't know for sure, but right now the prevailing theory is it's going to have a BOE monitor. We don't
I
have
saw a
concrete proof.
community post about that in Facebook.
He literally just had an employee say confirmed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but
weird.
John's
We're not
John's
buying
making
it.
fun of
We're
us.
not sure if John D is correct there.
No, it's not that we are not sure John D is correct. We don't know if he's just screwing with us.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly.
Could be.
Any minute
Yeah.
now, he's gonna be like, "I'm not screwing with you. I'm dead serious. It's got a BOE in it. I
Well,
wouldn't
if
do
it
still
that to
won't
my
know.
Capcom."
So
It's not true unless it's a super chat.
game demand, would you go higher than
Good
the
point.
2? B is saying 3. Robert, are you saying 3?
Because Big Blue is already out there, it's oversaturation. It's a 2. It's got one up. It's got one above MK as far as availability of these games.
This list is bogus
I'll
anyway.
say it's a 3. It's still the
He's getting
popular game.
mad.
It's still now. Here's the difference. It's a difference between whether you're going to upgrade to this from another Street Fighter, or if you don't have one at all, this could be your first step to Street Fighter. I think it's worthy of.
I'm
All
not
right.
mad at the 3. It's fine. We can go with it. It's fine.
But it's a 5 for games list, though, right?
I'm gonna give it a 5 because I love this game selection. I love they reduce the amount of Street Fighters. You've got some great games in here. I mean, Final
This
Fight's
is a
coming
good
back.
list.
Captain Commando. I mean, Pro Gear. I mean, is there a bad game on
Is
here?
there a
Maybe
bad game
Sports
on here?
Club is not the
Well, a
big
lot of
draw.
people
Take
like
that back.
Capcom
Tennis
Sports
is
Club.
awesome on Captain Sports Club.
I'm just
Dude,
trying.
dude, Final Fight Online.
I know, dude.
So good.
Telling you.
It's a good games list. I like it. It would be a
I-
4 or 5 for me.
I want this. I want a Final Fight reskin of this too.
But is Strider is 2-player, but is Strider just a 1-player or 2-player back and forth? I can't remember.
2-player.
I'm
back
thinking
and forth.
of
It's back and forth. It's 2-player back and forth. It's
The
not
arcade is back and
simultaneous.
Is it even 2-player at all?
I'm thinking of like the arcade, not the arcade, but like the console. So I'm like,
No, on I think it's you take turns.
okay,
If it's 2-player, it's not simultaneous. I know that.
yeah, but like even if they pulled that off, maybe it's a leaderboard. I'm not sure, but if it's like back
Right.
and forth, that'd be kind of cool too.
I like all these games.
Okay.
I know
I'm missing some things from last year's Legacy that if I was going to consider upgrading, I would really want. Like 1944, taking that off this list is a serious punch in the face because 1944 is.
but it needs a
arguably-
vertical screen.
But
No, it
let
doesn't.
me say
1944 is a horizontal game.
Oh,
these the other cabinets that had like 14 games on them or whatever. We were saying like, yeah, well, there's a couple of bad games. This is like they're all good, right?
1944 is taken off, which was a mistake. They had an
It's not
opportunity
about what's
to.
not there. It's about what
Yes, it is.
there.
Yes, but here's the thing: all the other Legacy cabs, because this is still a Legacy cab, were just basically remakes of last year's Legacy with additions. This is
with a couple
brand new
extras,
cabinet.
yeah.
Arguably, this is not a Legacy cab. This is just another Street Fighter.
Well, that's a valid point. You've got like 5 unreleased games on this cabinet.
Yeah.
So BOE will be available on the Capcom Legacy, which John D confirmed. Then there will be supply chain issues for Blitz because it's Midway. Then BOE will come to Marvel vs. Capcom too.
Because
Console Fanboy has an axe to grind. Thank you very much for the $4.99
Yes,
super chat. So I would say, listen, this is a great games list. They killed it. But like, I am really sad. Like when I was looking at this and considering it, and I did consider it because I do miss Final Fight and I want to play it online with people. And Captain Commando is amazing. I'm so happy to see it. A lot of people don't know Captain Commando is actually Capcom's unofficial mascot and was for a large period of their years in the 80s and 90s. But for me, the fact that they took away Ghosts and Goblins, had an opportunity to add Ghouls and Ghosts, and then didn't add 1944, it just hits it a little bit. For everybody saying this is a great games list, I would argue that there's an opportunity to maybe take it away from that 5 just a little bit.
There's a better games list than Dragon Slayer. Which
But
you guys
that's
gave a 5.
relative to the cabinet. Relative to the cabinet.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
Because
Okay, pick
technically, if you're going to do games lists with, you're like, oh, I want a Turtles cab with X-Men, and then, put Sunset Riders, and then put Sega Spider-Man on it. I mean, if it doesn't have that, that's not a 5, but that's not
All right.
realistic. So it has to be relative to the cab.
I'm going to call it, guys. So this is what we're going to do. We're all going to close our eyes. You're going to put a hand up.
Yeah.
Close your hand.
Okay.
Okay. And you're going to put up 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 on our final score. Right? We're going to poker this. Ready? I'm going to count down from 3. 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes.
Wow. We're at a 4.
Yep. Oh, a 3.
I thought I was supposed to be the hater.
Wow, I know.
I'm like
It's-
5. Give it a 5.
I will say the Capcom home arcade.
You guys are
stick-
all out of the Illuminati. It's just
out of
me
the
and Fox now.
That's it.
I'm-
The
Right.
Capcom home arcade stick had 16 games, and it had a fun. I mean, it's probably a perfect game list.
And Fox, you had to give this a 4 just because it didn't have Alien versus Predator.
That's
Come
right.
Well,
That's right.
okay. Well, no AVP needs its own cabinet.
Yeah.
It will be a part of no compilation. Thank you very much.
All right. I don't want to run over P-dubs too much longer.
Oh, you did
I feel
15 minutes.
I know I feel terrible about that, but overall, it looks like based on systematically going through this list and the scores we put up there, Arcade1Up this year, in a year where really they've only released 1 new cabinet. That's it. There might be some more coming. There's some gameplay dates today that I think are going to be late, but they've only released 1 new cabinet and they still had a 3.35 year, according to our statistical analysis.
And their best one was the brand new one.
That's right.
Absolutely.
I think the other 2 takeaways are the where they can improve the most looks to me like build quality and some of the game demand ones.
Ooh.
Which
Yeah, Jeff, I'm sorry. You brought up a really good point here. Let me just Hold on here now.
Spreadsheet us.
The totals on the bottom, yeah.
Get a 2,
All right, let's see some
average on the
VLOOKUP
bottom.
and some
Oh, there you
comparisons.
go.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So those two categories are probably where they could improve the most, which is
Yeah,
probably
well,
the most helpful information we could give them.
It tends to make sense there. You're talking about the monitors really giving, kind of taking these things down a notch, and then game demand. I mean, we're getting a lot of cabs that are recycling this stuff, so makes sense.
I think this statistical analysis has been pretty accurate in my opinion.
Just took us a long way to get there. That's all.
Oh, we did. Took us way too long. But like honestly, build quality, and we know one of the biggest factors on that is the bad TN monitors. There's good TN monitors. 5x4 doesn't need to be a dirty word. It's just got to be the right one with the right backlighting.
That's right.
And I think if you're out there and you
that.
have an MK30 and you're just dying to know how in the world could I possibly make this experience better, go over to my channel and check out my latest video.
Oh, that's right.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. That's
All
a
right.
good video, dude.
Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Arcade1Up had a 3.35 year. Oh my God, Vic Vicious, a Capcom Legacy Marvel versus a Marvel cabinet skin as a
Dude.
Punisher. I would love that. Love that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the super chat.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, guys, everybody, head on over to P-Dubs.
Let's go see
You don't have to
P-Dubs.
tell them I sent you, but you got to get out of here. Have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for everybody joining. This is Michael B. the Game Genie, and we'll talk to you later or something. Bye.
What?
Do you need my Illuminati guest
Later.
pass back?